there were some very innovative and special things that occurred that kept us all together.
Building solidarity across the organisation was critical in building our confidence and our competence, but also who we are, why we're here, what we've done, and what we're going to do. We also invested heavily in our external relationships with ministers, government departments including TEC, Ministry of Education, NZQA, banks, suppliers, industry and media.
One of the keys for us in the institution in the what I call the Bentham era of leadership was the ability for us to be Māori and to teach through our Māori culture rather than about our Māori culture.
There was a major initiative that came at that time, and it was brought about by the late Mike Watson. And that event that helped to keep us together, it was called the Te Wānanga. It was an initiative that happened at the right time and under the theme of kotahitanga.
The Te Wānanga and the Huia kaupapa is building solidarity across the organisation. So having survived as an organisation, it was critically important to figure out why and how we are going to survive moving forward.
And so the institution took a very different philosophical position than previously. And so Māori worldview, Māori culture started to be inscribed in a lot of our areas that they weren't before, in our documents, in our policies, in our naming conventions, in the construction and design of our programs. And so we started to lens more powerfully through Māori worldview than we had ever before.
In essence, what we had to work through was to demonstrate and validate the credibility of who we are, why we're here, the programs that we offer, and the benefits both our students and the wider community receive. Community is at the centre of our hearts and minds at Te Wānanga Aotearoa. Yes, Māori culture, but also for the benefit of all people in our community. And sustaining those relationships and establishing relationships at a local, regional and national level was a key part of that sustainability. This was the period when we established Te Morangi, which is our national kaumātua iwi relationship body that enabled us to have regularity in terms of our reciprocal communications with our whānau and to be able to feed back into our organisation. We had to put all of our programs through the NZQA accreditation process again. We needed to have a whole regime of audits done by the external companies including TEC, NZQA and the Ministry of Ed. And through that, it gave reciprocal confidence between the government and us to enable us to move into a 3-year IIP, or an investment in a plan. Through that, it gave a sense of permanence, which is really what we're aiming to move from survival as part of a sustainable organisation to be a permanent part of the tertiary landscape in this country. And to also and always utilise the survival period to ensure that we never visit that place again. So why exist? Why work through survival? Why come together in solidarity? Why establish an organisation that is sustainable? And all of those areas come down to the question, what do we define as success? And in the first instance, we choose that we would define what success means to us. Because if we can define what success means to us, then we will own it. And when we own it, we will make sure we achieve it.
We increased our educational outcomes to a current graduation rate of 76%. We grounded ourselves in our kaupapa. Our put our heads up in the air and said we're proud to be a Māori institution, and we're very clear of that. We used our Māori culture and ways of knowing and being to guide us in our approaches, hence the immersion of the Wānanga values and of kaupapa Wānanga. That says for the context that we work and live in, our kaupapa will be the bedrock upon which our survival is orchestrated.
Success is that our tauira are happy, our staff are happy.
I get a huge kick out of seeing our tauira graduate and seeing people come back to our institution and talk about how the experience of studying with our institution has affected their life. Ongoing, to me, that's success.
There was the survival years, and then there was the struggle, and in terms of that, the Te Wānanga o Aotearoa has absolutely confirmed their position in the tertiary education landscape. And so success for Māori is success for them. What's good for Māori is good for non-Māori.
I think one of the true successes of this institution, though, is that it's inclusive, and we don't see excluding other ethnicities from our institution as a Māori way of being. So we've got some great initiatives coming up. Ako Wānanga as a pedagogy and adult education is something the world has never seen, that has the potential to take Indigenous values and worldviews and apply them in learning contexts. I think that's going to be a huge success factor for this Wānanga and for the world. I think research moving forward that asks us to incorporate Indigenous ways of knowing opens up another opportunity for our people. I think the institution's move through Tai Wānanga and bridging the gap between secondary and tertiary means we can have a seamless pathway for our people to experience another kind of education that's inviting. And I think the opportunity to work with other educators, particularly Māori in university and polytechnic settings, so that we can advance Indigenous causes is also helpful. I think tertiary education can learn a lot from Māori and Indigenous worldview about how to create successful human beings.
And for a person like me, it's not what about I give to the Wānanga, it's what the Wānanga allows me to do. And what it allows me to do is to be able to serve and serve our people, and to give selflessly to our people. Whether they want it or not, they're going to get it. And that if I could make a difference just to one, well, that's a difference well made.
Many of our staff, including myself, have been transformed within Te Wānanga o Aotearoa. As a mobilised group of transformers within this organisation, we have the ability then to realise the opportunity of transforming our students. And through transforming ourselves and our students, we have an opportunity to transform the world.
Ko te aroha anō he wai, he pupu ake ana, he awa he mapuna mai ana, I roto I te whatu manawa. Ko tōna matapuna He tai roa, he tai nui.